whole system sucks. The whole system sucks.
Well, that's
And it creates a 60% plus divorce rate. And that divorce rate means women who have children who got divorced and have to work downtown go to bars after work and sit around and try to look attractive for the people that can afford to go into bars, which are mostly lawyers and people who make a living, make good money. That was a beautiful butterfly.
yeah, they've been out.
Make a lot of money and stuff, and so more divorce, more problems. You know. Meanwhile, the people that run a business at home, they're constantly in love with each other. They're in touch with each other. Nothing gets out of control. I've always maintained that when you change people a very little bit at a time, little chips, until 20 years later, 10 years later, 4 years later, whatever, you have a different stature than the one you married. You've chipped it into something else. It's now something different, you know.
Right.
If you're a bad husband or a bad wife, you will slowly modify that person.
Discourage, not.
It's like when you're angry.
Yeah.
Angry is good. It means you care. It's that simple. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be angry. You'd be like, whatever. You'd walk away. The person would be having screaming fit and stuff. It wouldn't faze you at all. You're like, wow, you're really losing it, buddy. You would just walk away. Wouldn't care. You gonna be home tonight? I don't know. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't, you know. There wouldn't be any fights. The worst part isn't being angry. The worst part is what comes afterwards. That's the worst part. When you just don't care anymore. You just go, whatever. And that usually means you've gone through grief, sadness, anger, crying, then anger, and then final one is passive. You just don't care. The worst divorces are the ones where one person divorces the other while they still care. That's the worst hurt. One advanced forward, don't care anymore, while the other one thought they still did, and they still do. And so now it's like ripping apart, a person.
Right.
It's not good. Not good.
And no time to focus on it because half of the relationship is at work all day.
Yeah, that's it. No time together. And Satan has made sure that in his own little, the devil is very clever. He sets up, he doesn't have to do anything to you personally. Your mind does that. Your mind is jealousy, greed, lust, coveting another person's possessions, all that sort of stuff. When Eve ate the apple and Adam ate the apple, that got in there. So that's there. Satan just tries to make an environment that enhances that. So he tries to make an environment that would make your greed greedier, makes you want more stuff, He tries to create an environment where
of entitlement.
Lust is more important, and lust and sex are more important than inner beauty and stuff. And he does. You see commercials all the time, you watch TV shows, it's the same message over and over and over again. You don't even realize it's being done to you. And then finally you end up, some teenage 14-year-old girl ends up looking in the mirror and hating herself because she's not awesomely attractive like some other girl who has more money and starts hating herself. And that's how it goes. It's just terrible.
And they all hate themselves. Even the models that they're idolizing.
Yeah, not easy to be. It's not easy to be happy with yourself. That's like a great achievement if you can figure that out. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We always joke and say, well, what if I gave you $500,000?
It'd solve a lot of problems.
Seriously.
Right.
If you think about it, what would you do? Next couple of days, the end of the month, through the year, what would you really do right away? I think what you would really do right away says a lot about how you feel about yourself.
I'd get a car.
Yeah, that doesn't count though. But if you got a Ferrari,
No, I would
That
not
would
get a Ferrari.
that would say you're very insecure, and you have to have the Ferrari to make people like you.
Right.
Hey, look, my covering's coming off. I think I hit one too many curbs.
I'm not the only one that does that. I don't know, man. There have been times lately where I get in the car and go like, I should not be allowed behind a wheel.
I
Like
backed into a bush yesterday.
that thing, that turning radius.
Sucks.
Man, yeah, it does.
Sounds like my van.
You know, swing low, sweet chariot. That's swing wide. That thing is not. I miss my.
Is the air in my tires with this thing?
Looks a teeny bit lowish.
I'm gonna have to move it. Find my keys. Test it.
I love this weather, man.
No, it's off.
Sitting at the beach, staring at the water. That's what I'd like to be doing. You change, you know, you get older, you're not the same. You change. You find certain things matter more than others. Because you can't have them when you're younger. You have children and responsibilities and no security. You struggle to get security.
Yeah, right. So you can enjoy the rest of your life.
Yeah, imagine if you and James had a business you worked together and you made a certain amount of money and it was enough to get by happily, mostly. There's no risk of getting fired. Your own destiny. You're in charge of your own destiny. If you're having a bad time and you need to go to the beach for the day, nobody to ask. You just go. Yeah, I would do that different. I would do something with Mommy. We would try our best. But it's hard. You get married and right away, where are you going to live? Well, we're going to get an apartment.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Guess what? Apartment costs $500 a month. Shit. I was going to start a business, but I'm not going to be making $500 a month right away. Oh yeah, and I got to buy food and pay the electric and blah, blah, blah. So I guess I'll join the military and start the routine. 8 hours a day. I always tell the kids, you don't know how lucky you are right now. You have a chance to become independent, to learn something you can turn into a business. But all you can think of is, when I'm 18, I'm going to get a job and I'll get myself a car and it'll be cool in an apartment. And I'm like, going, you don't understand anything about anything. But someday you're going to go, you know, I should have.
Shit.
Would have been so much nicer.
35, right?
Yeah, that's the average. But, you know, you're it's like talking to the wall, you know. Yeah. Sure. I hated leaving this. Come home tired, eat something, play with the kids, fall asleep,
Rinse, repeat.
and to repeat every day. Day after day. And if you're unlucky, it's a shitty job. If you're lucky, it's an okay job. I was an artist. That was okay. It was better than other things. But still.
It was at 30.
Oh yeah? So it is a little low, huh?
I love you, Dad.
I'm gonna go inside and see what Mom's up to. I gotta go get butter.